Messy Mondays with Tom and Zach.
Boom, boom, boom.
Welcome to Messy Mondays.
Welcome to Messy Mondays.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
You feel so close to me.
We are closer than we've ever been.
Literally,
well, we did-
biometrically speaking.
Zach thought he made up a word, but turns out to be a real word, but definitely not the word that he meant to say.
I was trying to say biology, and then I started thinking about geometry, and it became biometry.
It all had to do with his ear and my dog.
Yeah. It all makes sense if you're in it.
When you hear it in real time, it makes sense. It made sense at the moment.
It probably didn't.
It didn't, but it's fine.
But hi, I'm Zacary Landau.
Hi, I'm Tom Cornell.
And welcome to Messy Mondays.
Hello, welcome. If you played a camera, Zach, we can also talk to each other, but there is a camera to play to.
Hi.
And if you are watching us on YouTube, hi, hello.
I think I want to play this way.
Okay. It's like you didn't warn me.
No, I
You
didn't. I'm very naturally playing the camera. Or am I looking at Tom?
Guess who makes YouTube content and guess who doesn't?
Guess who doesn't? You can figure it out.
It's not me.
So this is our first time
Recording IRL.
recording or just being in the same room at all.
That is also true. We met in real life hours ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not even like 3 hours ago.
I know. It's fresh.
Been fresh.
We are not new friends, though.
No.
Don't get that misconstrued.
No,
I guess my friend Etta, who listens to our podcast, did not realize that we were recording in different states.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
It is good quality. So know that our sound quality is good enough to make it that we are.
It doesn't sound like I'm recording from like a tuna can or something.
It does help that I also record other content, and so we all have like good mics.
Actual good mics, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I record with people sometimes where I'm like, why does your quality sound so bad?
Well, they're probably not real podcasters.
They have more followers than me.
Ooh,
Being honest.
drama, messy. It's Monday.
Messy.
It's messy Monday.
It's messy Mondays.
No.
I thought I would take the key and go flat, darling.
It like wasn't even close to the melody.
Don't you love when a song is flat? No. No.
I'll take sharp.
Oh, you'd rather go sharp?
I don't know. I think I mostly, when I sing along, am flat or in a different key altogether.
I naturally go flat. I know I do.
But then when I try to overcompensate, I go so sharp. When I'm like, I know I'm gonna go flat. If I go away, I think I'm gonna go, so I'm gonna compensate. And I'm
gonna go all in.
Yeah,
And it's like you went too far in. Went a little too high.
Sorry, I just decided to jump octaves in the middle of the chorus. I was listening to yesterday. I was listening to Spotify.
No.
I thought you said no. And I was
What's
like,
that? Yeah.
okay. And I did the thing where like I searched for a song and then Spotify continued to play music after that. And so it was 6:30 in the morning, but my brother had already left for work. So keep that in mind because I'm going to speak my truth. So I put on Addicted by Kelly Clarkson. And so that one's like a kind of a belter. It's a little bit moody. And then Spotify took me on the weirdest journey after that. So after that, Hurt by Christina Aguilera was the next song. And I let it play.
Okay.
I was like,
Let's let it happen.
I was like, is this where I am emotionally?
Did it play I'll Never Love Again from A Star Is Born next?
No. Next it played Gravity by Sarah Bareilles.
Jesus Christ.
And then it played Are You Happy Now by Michelle Branch.
What's going on?
And then it played Who Knew by Pink. And I sang full chest at 6:30 a.m.
I'm trying to imagine at like 6:30 in the morning, you're hearing, something always leads me back to you. And then I'm like,
Breaking me down. Yeah. I think the most aggressive, I think Are You Happy Now probably would have been the most disturbing one to see. Because I was like, could you look me in? Like scream singing into my computer while I'm like messing with tax documents. So not like altering tax documents, just like that's part of my job is to like look at tax documents.
Yeah.
I just like feel like I said that and I was like, that sounds very shady.
Like,
that's
all
like
right. Okay. Noted.
revealing a little too much about myself in that very moment.
I will say, I feel like when I've met people that I've like talked on the phone, talked online, like years. I have also had other people where like I didn't meet them for a year. Sometimes they are very different in person. Seem pretty much the same.
This is it.
This is it. Look out, 'cause here I come.
Okay, I don't know if you are like on this side of TikTok, but I am on the side of TikTok where it's a bunch of high school choirs singing that specific song, and it's just the soloists are so bad. But my favorite one, and Tiffany and I talked about this on one of our podcasts. The girl's singing her solo, and then she does okay. She like didn't do that bad, but like probably not as good as she wanted to do.
Right.
And so it's over, and her solo's over, and she goes, and then walks away. Like you hear her giggle, then she walks away from the mic, and as she's going back to the risers, the person like where the C spreads, a guy just vomits. It was like the wildest turn of events because you thought that like the soloist was gonna be the star of the show. No, this puking guy.
This is me. Look out, 'cause
and then of course everyone's like just like trying to figure out what course of action to then take. Do you keep going? What is the course of action? Anyway.
No, I've not had lots of This Is Me. I have had lots of that. I'm sure you know the middle school choir did. Watch me whoop. No, watch me nay-nay.
Oh.
Watch me whoop. Whoop. Watch me nay-nay.
That's upsetting. That's more upsetting.
Watch me. Oh, watch me. Watch me. Like, that thing cracks me up.
That is very funny. But you also, having met you in real life, are very like the gap. It all makes sense.
Watch me whip.
Not that.
Now watch me nay-nay.
I love how like we're meeting for the first time in real life, and then this is what we're talking about. It's like, and show choirs
Now
on.
watch me Superman. Oh, watch me. Oh,
that's the part that gets me.
Watch
Of that.
Oh,
The watch me. Whew, is like, you know, sometimes I do view being white as a travesty.
it's devastating. Every day I'm like,
I mean that in like the night. Like I don't mean that in any kind of like negative. Don't take it. I just mean like sometimes we do stuff and I'm like, I'm embarrassed.
Listen, you're 15. Don't you pop off. Don't cancel me. I'm already so close to cancellation.
I think I'm consistently on the verge of cancellation.
Barely on the air.
I mean, I've been called so many things in my life. I'm good. I think I can handle it. I think I can handle a cancellation, especially at the size that I am now.
I can handle a cancellation.
Why are you gonna cancel me? I don't even make money on this.
Oh yeah.
You want me to stop? Oh, sorry, sis. Okay.
More free time. Okay.
All this content I'm making for me.
I'm begging you to cancel me.
I'm basically asking for it.
Darling, I'd love for you to cancel it. Yeah. So I've been in Asheville, in Pittsburgh now.
Where am I? You made me just really question, like, where am I?
Where am I? Yeah.
A song for everything.
Oh, yeah. You'll learn that. You'll learn that.
I know that now. I don't need more time.
Lots
okay,
of songs.
So you're in Pittsburgh. What do you think?
I like it. It was pretty much, it was like the vibe I wanted, but also different.
What was the different part?
It's the different part. I think I imagined it being hipper. And that sounds like a read, but it's about to lead into a compliment.
Okay.
But I actually find it's odd that it has like a small town camaraderie, but like at a city scale. Like, because what I would say in the South, I feel like there's this thing called like small town America where there's like one main street that just has like all the local shops, and like if you go outside of that, you'll get into like more strip mallish things, yada yada. Whereas here, there are just a million like little main streets. Is what it seems like in a way that's lovely.
Okay, I understand what you mean, because if you've never been to Pittsburgh before, they're like, we have more of like a neighborhood setup than like a city setup, like because of the Three Rivers, which is like where Pittsburgh is, and like where downtown is where the Three Rivers meet. So everything's a triangle and like breaks off of the triangle. So there's no like grid system in Pittsburgh. So you like,
maybe that's it.
Like I live in a certain neighborhood, other people live in other neighborhoods, but each neighborhood essentially almost has like their own main street where there are shops, but it could be a commercial shop or it could be like a mom and pop shop. So it's like it's very just like a crapshoot of what you're gonna get, like no matter like what part of the city you're in.
Yeah.
So I get that. And also like depending on which neighborhoods you're in, you see more of one thing than the other. But like in Shady Side specifically, which is like where you've been mostly hanging out since you've been here.
Squirrel Hill.
Yeah, that's like where most of that weirdness, whereas like commercial versus, like regular mom and pop shop.
Oh yeah, I'd be like Prada, Williams Sonoma.
I don't think there's a Prada.
I thought I saw Prada.
I don't think
No? Oh, I swore I saw Prada.
it's news to me.
Prada. Maybe it's brand new.
I don't.
You said you don't leave your house much.
I do not leave my house.
Maybe
much.
there is a Prada.
What privilege you have to be
What?
in my space?
What privilege? Yeah. Also, the hill to get to your house.
Yeah.
Very steep, and all I can think of, and if there is a God, da, 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 like, be rolling up that hill.
I mean, it's probably just playing from my house. If you actually heard that song, it was probably just me with my record on, just like having it go.
Be rolling up that hill.
Be running up that road. Be running
You're
up
up
that
the
building.
building with no problem.
I only could.
Only could.
If you haven't listened to the It Bears Repeating Kate Bush series, now's the time.
Or just listen to Kate Bush.
Or just
Both.
listen to
Both.
both. I put clips into the episodes.
Yeah, we love
Gives you
clips.
history and context.
I love clips. I famously love a clip.
You also this isn't tea, but it
Oh,
is very
fair.
funny. No. So I'm gonna be on Film Fridays, which is on In Another World, in a couple weeks. I don't know when my episode airs, but
Yours will be in like 2 weeks from now.
we already recorded it.
Yeah.
And at the top of recording, before we hit record, Zach's like, I'm gonna play clips, but you're not gonna be able to like see them. You're just gonna hear them. And I was like, cool, but I could see them.
Well, it's weird
I could see them, and I was like, I'm not gonna say anything because like this is fine. I can see and hear them, and
you're
like,
allowed to see them.
well, no, but I just was like, I don't know if this is uncommon, and I didn't want to like be jarring, and like, it was no point in me like admitting to you that I could see them, but I was like, is there something wrong with Devin's computer? Like, I was just like, I couldn't figure out like, what was it? But
Well, I would say I was sharing from a streaming service, and we had done it before, and it would not
black
play.
out the screen.
Yeah, so I thought it was
okay.
I thought like it just did that with everything on that streaming service, but I guess it was not. I could tell though. You didn't need to tell me. I figured it out because you responded to something that was non-audio. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess they can see it.
Well, I was gonna bring up that point anyway, and then when it was happening in real time, I was like, and then this, and then I was talking over whatever you wanted us to actually see because of course I did.
Well, it also one section just became a roast of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you know what?
I've been I think my love language is mean. My love language is I like to be mean.
Is yours like words of affirmation?
No,
Is
not-
it acts of service or is it mean?
No, mine to other people. It's like if I really like you, I'm gonna read you. If I don't like you, it's gonna be fake niceties, which is like worse. In my opinion, I would rather just people be mean to me. Like there's a level of respect.
As my
And I also
leg
wasn't,
shakes.
like, I don't want anyone
I
to
love
think-
it when people are mean to me.
I don't want anyone to think that I was like we talked about like extra content for
And honestly,
Instagram.
like I only cried for like a little bit.
Did you cry? Okay, I was like, I'm just making sure.
Oh no.
No, it was just like I was just joking because like famously I've talked many times about TikTok and our TikTok for this particular podcast. And so like a little like doing an extracurricular video portion for something on In Another World, you're like, I'm gonna do that. And
Let's
I was
say
like,
it's an accurate read.
yeah, I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't.
I would say it's sometimes I struggle with being able to find clips that I believe are the funniest of the bunch that will fit into the time parameter.
Into a minute.
I have trouble.
I understand.
And then I get overwhelmed with life, which is not really an excuse.
I mean, we're in a pandemic.
Yeah, I'll be saying that like 20 years from now. It's a pandemic.
If we are literally still in a pandemic.
Stop. Oh
20
my
years.
God, don't even say that. I
Okay.
can't even. There are times I'm like, what is life? But a fantasy? It's just a sweet, sweet fantasy.
Because I think if something doesn't happen soon, there's going to be a point where everyone just kind of gives up on the fantasy of like trying to have a COVID-free world. Also, the other day, this is like real talk. like the gravity of everything that happened like hit me all at once, and I like took a very long cry and just like laid in my bed and like pulled my knees and it was like, oh.
Ew.
I was like, this was not I was like, I wasn't prepped
Hello.
for that. Adele just looks into my window. She's
Hello.
like, hello. It's just existential dread.
Half on the other side.
If Adele's ever on the other side of my window, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Like, ah!
Gay panic.
No, I have that too, where I'm like, everything's fine, everything's cool. I'm very adaptable, good, and good. And then one day I'm like, what is life?
Yeah.
Get back to life. Like right now, I'm having this weird thing. It might be like, oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. But like, I was unemployed during all of 2020, and I'm still right now applying for jobs and things. And there were times where I'm like,
I would be, yeah.
or overwhelming too.
Sure.
It's like overwhelming. I'm like, oh god, am I going to pace myself for an 8-hour day? No, the privilege. But like, well, not privilege, because I mean, I'm also
I think
tight
you're
on money.
just gonna be like very tired for a while when that happens, because whenever, so like we were literal quarantine for 3 months in Pennsylvania.
No.
So like whenever Sephora opened back up, I used to work at Sephora. I don't know if I've like mentioned that explicitly on this podcast, but like there you go. We like started in June. And I wasn't full time there, but it was the only job I had. And I remember like after like working like my first shift there, and I was like, I'm overwhelmed. But it was like overwhelming for like a number of things. You're luckily not coming like fresh out of like we still don't know that much about COVID, and we were like going back to work. So that was like a little scarier for like a different reason. But when I started my work from home job, even though it's like work from home, I felt like after my first week, I was like, I'm gonna die, because I was like did something 5 days in a row, which like I hadn't done in like a very long time.
Yeah. I've usually had that also when I've started any new job the first week. So I'm trying to remember, it's just me that amplified.
Yeah.
So,
You just have to, I think you have to give yourself grace. And I would hope your employer would give you some grace. Just be like,
what's wrong with you?
And you could ask me that any point in my career, in any of my careers.
Why did you do that?
A song for everything. You've never been this on before.
Something about being in person. I think I mute myself on audio.
Do you?
I try to find some way to like, what's the podcast version?
That's
Probably more me.
I was just gonna like, that's stupid.
I was like, well,
to your audience, if you are listening, if you ever met me in real life, I don't think you'd be surprised by what it's like to meet me in real life.
You're pretty much exactly it. That's why I would say you're an authentic content creator, because you are authenticity.
It really is.
Well, I'm new to content, so I'm still finding like
You've been a podcaster for almost a year now, haven't you?
Over a year. That's over a year.
New to content. I've been doing it for
I
a
still
year.
feel so new to it.
Yeah, I also think like your content specifically is like ever evolving in a way that my content ebbs and flows like less than yours does.
I've been on a
Like it bears
journey.
repeating, like was like we had to get from Drag Race to another place, and there was like a messy like in between time where we like couldn't really I'm just saying messy in between time where like we didn't know which like what our content was gonna look like, but we also knew we didn't want to stop, so that was like a weird place to be.
Yeah.
And then Recollect luckily is what it is, and like we don't have to think about that much.
Yeah.
And then my YouTube channel is more a matter of doing it. That's more or less like where my problems lie with like my YouTube content, but I've been doing well being consistent. But like your content was like very specific the first season you did it.
Yeah.
And then I came in the last episode and I was like, let's have fun. Well, because
no,
there was a lot more research before all, like in all the episodes before mine. It was like very, and like I came in and I was like, let's talk about the music we listened to for the past year.
I will say it was one of the most fun episodes I did.
I had a lot of fun recording that. Also, I was like the precipice for this.
Well, and I would say I think I've realized I enjoy doing more loosey-goosey,
Relaxed.
format rather than today we're going to be talking about a very specific topic. Like, I think sometimes I can start to sound a little textbooky, a little dry.
Yeah.
It's very dry. It's sort of like your vagina.
Full of so many quotes.
Like,
We already actually used that quote today. And I don't even remember what we were talking about the first time it came up. While you were trying to use touch tunes. I don't remember.
Look, I think
Is touch tunes and I would like to know if you are listening to this
let's get into
podcast and you
touch
are not from
tunes.
Pittsburgh, do you guys have touch tunes? Because I thought this was like a common national thing.
I could tell you were like, oh, and they, touch tunes. And I was like, yes, touch tunes. And I eventually went, okay, I'm going to be honest. What the fuck is touch?
Yeah, so if you're not
know.
familiar with touch tunes, I think there are other apps like this, but touch tunes is like the place where you are dining or like at a bar has a jukebox, but the jukebox, you can either go up and pay at the jukebox and like pick things, or from an app on your phone, you can just like add your song and just like pay through your phone. And so it's like very nice, especially whenever you like want to put your song on, but you don't want to walk all the way to the jukebox, or you're flirting with the bartender or
I don't
someone
wanna
next
get
to
up.
you. Yeah, and you're just like,
Don't make
it'd
me
be
get
really
up.
great if I played Cut to the Feeling by Carly Rae Jepsen. You could just like do it
I
from,
want to get to the feeling.
yeah. So
That's a good song.
it is a good song.
That's a fucking
Not a
good-
great lip sync on Drag Race though.
I thought, no, not from one of them. Yeah. One of them was doing a good job. One of them, not so much. I love an A song that starts, it's really like, oh my God.
Percussion, staccato.
I had a dream, it was a weary line.
I just like, I always think
I want to cast
I actually don't know the words to that chorus
I
yet.
wanna
It's
dance
been out for
on the
like
roof.
4 years.
I promise I went to musical theater school, and I can tell you cannot tell.
I remember, I don't know if we had talked about it on an episode, but we definitely one time after we were done recording, I was like, you don't have to joke sing every time. You can like sing it for real. And you were like,
I want to cut to the feeling. Because my thing, it's hard to sing.
I think there's an in-between place. Like,
I want to cut to the feeling.
there you go.
Yeah,
I would say
yeah.
that's a little less aggressive than the,
I want to cut to the feeling.
yeah.
Or just going for like power falsetto.
Yeah.
I want to cut to the feeling. Sorry, microphone.
Yes. It'll be fine.
I will say that's a common thing with me. I don't know why. I joke sing a lot. Even though
Joke singing is fun.
oh yeah.
Right. But like I can understand why some people can like sing of it too. And
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
yeah.
saying that it doesn't bother me. I'm friends with Tiffany, so we joke sing.
You told me today.
We joke sing often, but she does do the Miranda sings kind of. I want to cut to the feeling,
want to get
or
to
she'll
the
just cut
feeling.
words out, which is my favorite. She'll like, I want to cut to the and like that will be where it stops.
Cut to the feeling.
It's like she doesn't come back. It just.
That's fun.
One time she was singing Iris. I don't remember what we were doing, but she was singing Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah,
if anyone remembers
I'm old.
remembers those.
Oh yeah, I'm on.
She was like, and I don't want the world. That's where she stopped. And I was like,
And I don't want the world.
but she like leaned away from the mic. She's like, and I don't want the world. I was like, why is that how we're singing this song? Why are we singing this song?
And I don't want the world.
Want to see more.
Cause I don't think that they understand.
Yeah, there's none of that. She just does like the nasally part. I've not taken a lot of Miranda Sings content in, but I know.
I just love I favorite when she has too much diction. She's like, and I don't think that they understand. It's just like too much diction. You're like, okay.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, pretty much.
I definitely saw someone do that, not in Miranda Sings' voice, but like in their like own vocal performance style. They were singing "Take a Bow" by Rihanna.
About a round of applause.
Well, it was like, "Don't tell me you are sorry, 'cause you are not."
Don't tell me that you're sorry because you're not.
Yeah, right. No, it's like, "Don't tell me you are." There was no contractions. Don't tell me you are sorry because you are not.
When you know you're only sorry.
Well, I don't want to mimic her voice because she definitely like there was some like African spin on it, so it's very. She was doing it. She was playing it up for comedy, so it was supposed to be funny, but it was just like wild to hear. I've listened to that particular TikTok over and over and over.
We've had a TikTok day.
Oh yeah, I'm full of TikTok references, ones that no one has seen. You know,
I will say, you never told me about a TikTok that I've seen.
Rasta Mouse. It's the hand motions that get me the Rasta Mouse.
I just love that her tick includes choreo.
It's on a TikTok. So
Yeah.
the particular TikTok we were talking about it's like it was obviously a show on some channel, and the woman
Looked very TLC.
yeah, and she started having tics, but she's in her 40s, and they are like. I don't know. I have no idea what it's like to have a tic. I'm sure it's wildly uncomfortable to have them happen to you.
Sure.
But like hers were so funny. And just like, and I feel for her, but like also I was like, keep going. Because like I would, and so there's actually 2 different TikToks where a person was just like filming them and posting them. And I was like, I have them saved to my phone. My other one that I like that really cracks me up, and it's like more hidden between like the funnier ones. She was like, I like to lick ass. But like there's like a pause where she's like, I like to lick ass. And then she's like, no, I don't. No, I don't.
No, don't. I love the like. No, don't.
No, I don't. That's really just slays me. Okay, we have to stop talking about TikToks because people like explaining a TikTok to someone and then like them
Oh,
seeing
it's like
it.
explaining a dream. No one cares.
Speaking of dreams, I'm going to talk about mine real quick because it was wild enough. Okay, so
they're like, except for dreams, like, oh, you should say that. Listen to my dream.
yeah, but I should say that. I'm going to tell you about my dream.
Okay.
I had a dream that this is all Tiffany's fault. I had a dream
my life would be.
I dreamed a dream of
I dreamed a dream that no one can.
Truly. But I had a dream. Tiffany's pregnant. If you don't know Tiffany, I had a dream that I was pregnant and we were pregnant together in this mansion. And I like don't really know what the premise was. But all I know is like I was having those like moments where I was like half awake too. And I was like, if I'm pregnant, I can't sleep on my stomach. And I was sleeping on my stomach in the RL. And so I was like trying to flip over in real life, but also like still having the dream. It was very weird. And I think it was just because I like the last time I ate before I went to bed was like 2 p.m. So I think my stomach was just like rumbling and I was like, they're kicking. That was like what was happening in my dream situation. And I woke up and I was
kicking.
I was like, Tiffany, now I'm having secondhand nightmares about your child. Can you please?
It's the baby.
Can you have it already, please? Can you?
How are you ready to get pregnant?
Also, we're trying to go to the Evanescence concert.
Break me up inside.
We just did an episode of Recollect, and that song was in the top 10, and we lived.
That's a song.
Did you say that's a good song, or did you say that's a song?
It's a song.
Oh.
I got that song.
It is a song.
That was a good thing.
And then Get Busy was also in the top 10 that week. So just in case
remind me how that goes.
Get busy. It's like by Sean Paul.
Oh yeah.
Sexy lady gonna I like no idea what it's all good, girl, turn me on to the early morning, let's get it on.
Let's get it on. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on to the early morning, yeah, it's all good, girl, turn me on, you know, shake that thing, miss.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild. Sleep is a trigger because, well,
you've been sleeping on an air mattress for the past since Wednesday, and it is Saturday.
On a lovely air mattress that my friends Sam and Alan provided to me. So I want to make it clear, they don't know what's wrong with it. I don't either, because they have slept on it before and had no issues. And they both slept on it. So at first I was like, am I just like too heavy? But mathematics.
That would have been my first thought about me if I was on it. So
I thought I was like, I'm flattening this. I'm flattening this like Mr. Kool-Aid or something. It was like too much.
I wish I could like see it. I wish I could like be in the.
It's a substantial mattress. Like it's not one of those.
They're nice air mattresses.
No, I was very excited to sleep on it because like it's a double-decker air mattress. So I thought like, oh, it's gonna be like.
It's like a thick one.
Yeah. So it's like I was like, oh, I'm not gonna feel like
on the ground.
Yeah.
Turns out
it was on a night's journey. So the first night, this is what happened. I was like really tired the first night. I had driven like 8 hours to get here. I was like, oh yeah, time to get. And when I laid down on it, everything seemed normal. Here we go. And then I woke up about 2 hours later, and I was like, dipped into this mattress. And I was like, ooh, I guess it deflated a little. And then they said like, air mattresses can deflate a little. So I thought like, okay, just deflate a little bit. Okay. And I was like, I'm fine. So I went back to sleep. Woke up again with the sensation of like, am I in a ditch? Where am I? I think I had a dream about a ditch because my body was like, what's happening?
We were probably having our dreams simultaneously. Yeah. You might have been in the moat of my mansion.
Yeah, and so I remember feeling like I was inside a hot dog bun. And I remember saying...
So there's still air in the sides. when you wake up.
And I said in the moment, I went,
And when you lay down, there's no noise coming from
no.
it.
But I remember just thinking, I feel like I'm in a hot dog bun. And then I thought for a second, I went, I can make this work. And I just I just put a pillow in front of me, kind of hugged it, and fine. But then it never felt the way it did the first night ever again. It never deflates. It never deflates in exactly the same way. So by last night, I was so delirious. I'm just like, I just want to sleep. And I know what I'll do. I'll just deflate the mattress and I'll sleep on the floor. I thought that was the best. Cause it was feeling so awkward. I'm like, I don't know, it's barely
Are you not refilling it every night?
Well, it doesn't. I love Sam and Alan so much. Thank you for the mattress. I want to make it clear, I'm not ungrateful for the mattress, but it only if I fill it back up. One, it's very loud. So when they're trying to sleep, I don't want to be like,
No. I mean not in the middle of the night, but you're prepping for your night of sleep. You're not yet asleep. Everyone's still awake.
Mm-hmm.
You're not reblowing up the mattress every night.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
And if I refill it, it only stays reset again for 30 minutes. So it feels like, what's the point of it?
I wonder if the leak's on the bottom. Because if you're not hearing the fizz, it's it might just be blowing right out into the ground. That would be my best guess.
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. I'm doing everything the way it's supposed to be done. And then I was I know.
I read the manual.
I read the manual, honey. And then I thought, whoa, maybe I need to just get a hotel room for my last night. Because I was oh, God, I need really to get a good night's sleep before I drive 8 hours back. And now I've waited so long that all the hotel rooms are super expensive. So I'll be okay. By the time I get home tomorrow, I'll just be
dead.
I will probably sleep for 10 hours or something.
That'll be nice.
It'll be nice. It'll be me dreaming of my bed.
While you're in it.
I dreamed a dream.
Want to hear what happened to me this week? I do actually have... This is I would consider this a messy moment. This could be a precursor to messy moments. It's not my messy moment. It's a friend. And it's okay.
That works.
So a friend I haven't talked to in any real capacity, as friends
no.
in a few years, reached out to me, texted me and said, hey, can I call you tonight? And I was like,
oh.
I was like, yeah, sure. Because
That's odd though.
This person is a fun person. So I was like, oh, maybe they just need someone to talk to. I'm like, I'll be fine. We'll be fine. I didn't, my first thing was nothing's happening.
Right.
And so we get on the call and we start talking and then she just starts maniacally laughing. And I was like, oh, wow. I'm some either trauma is about to be spilled. She calls me up, we talk, and she's like, let's talk about you first, get caught up, how you've been through the pandemic. And I was like, so I tell my side, which is everyone's already heard my side because very famously, I'm very documented on the internet.
No.
So if you want to
very documented.
If you want to know what something is going on, just listen to a few episodes of a podcast. Anyone, I will interject personal information into any one of those episodes. No. So there was a lot, but I'm going to focus on one specific thing because it really relates to just messy. Okay. So she was telling a story about how, do you remember this one time 6 years ago, which was the last time she lived in the city? She was like, you remember me telling you that I had slept with my best girlfriend and she's straight. So she told me, and I was like, I do not remember this. And she was like, yeah, you just were kind of whatever. And I was like, that sounds about right. Because if someone tells me that they're sleeping with someone, I'm just like, if you weren't making it a problem, I wasn't going to talk about it. I was like, cool, right. You slept with your friend, whatever.
Fun.
It's I don't know.
Whatever.
What am I going to say back to that? I don't think that I think maybe she thought that I'd be like, oh my God, tell me all about this. And I was just very oh, cool, whatever. You slept with your friend.
Right.
And I was like, is everything, everything is okay? And she was, I think that would everything must have been okay in the moment. Okay. So she then, she was like, and I was like, I don't remember. I vaguely, I have vague inclinations that this happened, but it was not a big moment for me.
Right. No,
because I was like, oh, sure, whatever. And
our personal stories don't mean as much to other people.
Well, also I'm queer.
Right.
So if you tell me that you had a queer moment, I'm going to be like, okay.
Oh, go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be more surprising if I went up to someone and like if I was like I had a straight moment, like that
I'd
would
be
be
like,
like
"Oh."
that's newsworthy. But like straight people being
I'll
queer
see
a
that.
little bit is like not newsworthy to
Yeah,
me.
I'm like,
It's just
"Oh."
like, oh, I'm not surprised about that.
Well, good for
Not
you.
her in particular, but like anyone having a little bit of a queer experience, like not surprising to me. Like it just,
Like, oh, good.
yeah, cool.
Whatever.
How fun.
Not bad.
So she dealt with that in her head. She moved on from it, and then she read some book. I don't even remember what the name of the book she read was, but it sent her into gay panic. She was like, I think I'm bisexual. She's like, but I'm not attracted to women. I was like, but I'm not attracted to women. I don't see myself with a woman. I've always seen myself marrying a man. And then she was like, but it does feel like I'm homophobic because I'm not willing to date a woman. And so she's like going on. And I was like, even if you are bisexual, you can still choose to marry a man. And that's fine.
No one's keeping score.
And I was like, if you want to explore women, and like you're welcome to, but I was like, but also sounds like you're not attracted to women. Based on, I'm like, I only know the information that you are giving me. So I'm like, based on what we're talking about right now, I was like, I don't know what you read in this book that set you off. And I was like, I don't think that you're homophobic, but I'm not going to tell. It was not the moment for you to be like, internalized homophobia exists in everyone. Even queer people, even gay people, there's like internalized homophobia within all of us, and it rears its ugly head sometimes. And like this could be just like one of those little moments.
We've talked about it on this show.
Yeah, so I was just like, and then but like it sent her into like almost an identity crisis where she was like, I can't. She was this part. I'm so sorry. I'm trying not to laugh directly into the microphone, but this part really sent me. She was like, I'm gonna have to come out to my parents. I was like, and then. Obviously, because she was like when I say she was like in real crisis, like she was in real crisis. Like I got worried for her, like that something was gonna happen.
I was watching like a girl. One time I had a hookup.
But again, hadn't thought about it in 6 years. Read some book, and the book is like what inspired this.
I'm gonna have to go to my parents.
The way we jumped from like I think I'm bisexual potentially, then immediately telling me that she's not interested in women. Not interested, doesn't think about them sexually.
I'm bisexual, but I don't want to have sex.
I'm not saying that she may not be bisexual. I'm not trying to tell her what she is and is not. Because, like, maybe once she works through some stuff, maybe she is.
But maybe not.
But also maybe not.
Maybe
and I was
not.
like, based on what you are telling me in this moment, doesn't sound like it.
It sounds like, and also sometimes this is also a thing. You might have just been attracted to that one person.
Also, that happens. And I did tell her, and I was like, I'm confident that there is like a woman who identifies as a woman out there in the world that if I met them, I could potentially like end up.
There was a girl in high school I do think I legitimately had a crush on.
It happens,
but like it hasn't really happened since, and I've never gone there. I've never gone there with a woman. But
certainly.
And I also don't feel. I've never had existential dread about should I be having sex with a woman. Like I don't think about that.
Well, that's
like,
because. Okay, and I also thought about this when she was asking for my advice. I literally said to her, I was like, I've been queer for a very long time, like to the point where like I don't know that I can help you because I have not when I came out, like at the time I did and how long ago it happened, very different scenario than what we're working with now. Because I was just like, now it's like it doesn't no, I feel like most people don't even like. Most people, oh my God, I have like a hair stuck on my face. I hate that. I feel like most people, specifically, like, I don't think she surrounds herself with people if she decided to, if she, one, figured out that she was in fact bi, and then two, came out. I don't think anyone would care. I don't think anyone would care.
Like, oh.
Right. Especially if she's only going to date men.
Right.
So she's having her identity crisis. I feel like I talked her down. The next day, she texts me. She's like, what if I'm trans? And I was like, Hope, you would know if you were trans. Like, I don't think there would be like, there's no, it's like you would have been uncomfortable in your body for a very long time.
Now that's funny. I remember one time thinking like, because I remember thinking back to like childhood stuff and like, I'd always want to wear my sister's clothes. And actually the first time I ever had a sexual dream about me and another boy, in the dream I was a girl, but over time I think that was more about what my brain was saying, like you should be a girl if you're attracted to boys. Like but it's funny, like that whole.
I mean,
I
don't think it's weird to ask yourself this, but like I think because she like. It's like added on to everything. I was like, you are just panicking to panic at this point. Because I asked her some questions. I was like, do you feel like this? Do you feel like this? And I was just like, I was like, you may be bisexual, but I don't think you're, I really don't.
I don't know, but
I really don't think you're trans.
Right.
I really don't think you're trans.
I don't think that's it.
And I was just like, I'm so sorry that I do not have a solution to like give you. But I was like, this is stuff that I have had decades to unpack, and you are like just figuring this out,
and this
is the first time you seem to be questioning this whatsoever.
You seem to be cramming for a test that no one's giving you.
And I was just like, there are no, even though it's no big deal, there are no answers immediately for you, and I'm like, sorry about it, but like you're gonna have to like deal with this and figure it out. It's gonna take time. It's gonna be uncomfortable.
How bizarre.
It was really
how
wild.
bizarre how bizarre.
Let's not
No, but really, like, also just that you haven't spoken in how long again?
I mean, like, we will check in on each other. I would say, like, when we're like once every 6 months, we'll have like a call.
Okay.
But I would say, like, we hadn't had like the last time we talked was when I started seeing my ex, because she thought I was still dating that person. Well, it was fine.
Oh, no,
we talked through it. I was like, let me tell you about that breakup. And that's a long story. So she got
I remember seeing one friend once after my last breakup, and they clearly had not spoken in so long, and they were like, so how's your boyfriend? I was like, am I gonna cry in the middle of this Whole Foods? Like, I was like, you broke up with me and you reminded me.
I am not. I was not triggered. I'm not triggered.
That's
like
good. Well, I'm not now, but back then I was still in trigger area.
I would, yeah. I also, I feel like whenever I was dating my ex, like I was telling people about him, but I also wasn't posting about it on social media. So like there was a slew of people who didn't even know that I dated this person because I wasn't really telling people. But also like my friends at work knew, because while it was happening, of course, at work I would be like, like I'm gonna go hang out with I wasn't bitching. I was just like excited.
But like everything you're talking about, everything.
Yeah, but then I didn't tell anyone. Like when we broke up, I was like not spreading that news as fast. And then I remember someone asking me, and I was like, "Oh, we broke up 2 months ago," and they were like, "What?" And I was like, I don't know. I just like keep my business to my business, okay?
I remember I was working at a very smally staffed place when we broke up, and I was manic the day that our breakup happened. So I remember just feverishly cleaning and be like, yes, I'm gonna go over there after work and we're gonna talk about everything and we're gonna work everything out and it's gonna be good. So I was like, not my best self.
Not to bring up, did it happen in the morning or overnight?
I got a text in the morning.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Woke up to a text in the morning.
Woke up to it.
Oh, it was a
If I woke up to a text and then had to start work at 6 a.m., I like wouldn't even be like, oh, it's not the time.
So here's
I also got broken up with at a place where it was not the time, but like, so I can relate.
Well, it was like I woke up to the text and I didn't have to work until 2. And I remember calling my boss, like, I need to call. And it happened to be like
a lonely staffed day.
Or it was like, today's my daughter's birthday.
Oh,
and
no.
I was like, fuck my. Like my last job, I feel like every time I needed to call out, where it's like, today is a mental health day. Because he said, if you ever just need a mental health day, let me know. And every time I tried to call, I'd be like, oh, I can't do it today. But I remember he did give me 2 extra hours. Like, come in at 4 and sign up 2. But like, oh boy.
Yeah, there is something beautiful about corporate life specifically, is like when you call off, it's not your responsibility to like, but like when you work in like a service job and you have to like get someone to like take your shift, it's like so much harder.
And my God, the job I had, when I say we were a small staff, we were usually a staff of maybe 5 or 6.
Right.
So it was wild. It was a wild time. Also, waking up to a breakup text,
no one wants that.
Like, 0 out of 10 would not recommend.
No.
Not fun.
Oh, I was gonna say I got broken up with on my lunch break in my house.
What the fuck? That's equally fucky.
He did come to my house to do it, so it wasn't a text.
I don't know if it's better or worse.
I don't know. Stop. Don't come this way. Go
Granted,
that
mine
way.
was like, you could talk. I actually remember it was like comically funny. Like, I remember thinking, oh, because we had not seen each other for a couple of days. I was like, but then we're going to hang out Thursday. And so I actually woke up like, today's like a day.
Gonna
I'm
hang out
going
on
to
Wednesday.
see my boyfriend. Ooh, he sent me a text. Let's see what this little text. No. It was like the emotions that happened. I went directly into crying. It was like crying. It was like, boom, cry. It was like, I woke up, I was crying.
So I did not cry in the moment. It
Like-
happened. I remember him saying, he's like, well, what happened? I was like, well, you're going to leave my house. And I wasn't being like aggressive. I was like,
It's
you're
like-
going to leave my house.
You need to go.
And then I'm going to go cry.
The gall.
And I will never
What
forget.
happens
I
now?
will never forget. I like closed the door behind him and I like watched him do like a Dawson's Creek, put his hands behind his head and like real
No.
dramatic as he walked away. And I
No.
was like, I wish I hadn't seen that, but like what a funny moment that I get to like have in my head.
Wow.
So like obviously it was like dramatic, but like it felt like not dramatic. It was like one of those things. And like I cried like a little bit after, but I would say it took like about a week for like my brain to like really process like in the moment I was like, it wasn't that bad. And then I told Tiffany, and the way she reacted to me giving her the news was like, I think the fuck not.
Oh, I mean, I remember you told me. I was like, what?
And I was just like, was it that bad? And it took me a while. To
Oh.
like, and then once I realized how bad it was, then I had to process it almost all over again because I
Yeah.
like didn't realize it the first time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's like when I would vent about my breakup. People would be like, fuck. You fucking woke up to a fucking breakup? That's like, well, you know, I think he felt, and they're like, no.
When you start
No.
making excuses for them, it's just like,
They're
no.
like, oh, because I was like, well, it's hard to do. It's like, no, honey. I can't. I also remember breakups are so weird because I remember just being like, I'm useless as a person. Like, people should just let me stay home. People are like, come out, come do something. And the thing is, it'd be like, I remember we'd go see this play. Couldn't tell you what happened in the play. I think I just disassociated for like 2 hours. I remember like a full play's happening, and I'm like, there was that one time where I had a panic attack, and it was like lunchtime, and he was upset about that. Maybe that did it. And it's like, there was no play happening. I wanted to watch no play.
Yeah.
I was watching my relationship play out in my head. And it's like, I think sometimes people go through a breakup. I mean, it's good to get people like out of their space, but sometimes I don't think it's always best to like, this was like the day or the next day. And I remember being like, it's useless.
People
being
really
here.
do want you to like people tell me about their break. I'm like, if you need me, you are welcome to come over here. I will come to you, but like whatever you're processing, like I don't, unless you want me to be up here, whatever the process is, I don't need to be there unless you want me there. Do you know what I mean? Like
No,
it's like
yeah.
I think there's a difference where like I just need you to be there for me. I don't need you to be pushing something that I might not be.
Right.
I will say my friend Haley, we also worked together, but she was, I told her that we broke up and I told her like what everything that happened, and she was like, my friend's making chili and we're gonna get chili. And so I went to like her friend's house. I'd been there before, so it wasn't like a weird thing.
Okay,
I
I
had been
was
in this
like-
space before. And like it was just like all of us, just like it was her friend's birthday, and like she just makes chili every year for her birthday and like has people over. So I was like over I just I just remember like sitting there and I was like, it's nice to not be in my house. You know what I mean? Like it was like nice to like not
No,
be in
I
my
would always
house.
feel that too. I would be like,
But I wouldn't want to go like to a place. Like I would go to someone's house. Like
Right.
I wouldn't like, I didn't mind that. I felt like comfortable, and like she like told her friends why we were there, but we didn't talk about it. Like so they like knew that something had happened. So they were like, because I feel like otherwise they'd be like, why is he here?
okay. I have to look at things through a comedic lens. Like, it keeps from life just being like too whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I look back at now, like me, what I was doing that first week, and like I think if I watched it out of context,
Yeah.
I would probably like be cackling because it'd be me in the car just like listening to "No, I'll never love again. Like, to be like, I got a relate, girlfriend, and my brain's like, no, girl, no, you can't. Or me just like, the opening chords to the Ariana Grande song "Needy,"
Mm-hmm.
I would say was the vibe of me. It was like dun 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 dun, dun. Like I was like I'm on the edge of a breakdown. Like it was a whole moment. And it was just the drama. Like, I mean, not that, like, yeah, I was sad, whatever, legitimate feelings, blah, blah, blah. But, like, it was, you know, a 6-month relationship. Like, you know, it wasn't the longest relationship ever. And it was truly comical how much I was willing to be like, let's really go down the emotional rabbit hole. It was just, like, a lot.
See, that was not the route that I took. I think equal manically opposite. I was listening to like Alanis Morissette. So I was like in a full like full destruction.
Down on your head.
There's an episode of Recollect. I could not tell you which one it is. I couldn't tell you like off the top of my head. But whatever it was a 90s week. But it was like right after I got broken up with. And so like we do this section called Honorable Mentions where we pick a song that wasn't in the top 10 that week, but like what we wanted to talk about for a little bit. And so Alanis Morissette's I can't think of the name of that song. The song you were just singing.
You want to know?
Yes, You Ought to Know. So I pick You Ought to Know. I'm singing along. You can tell I'm on a next level plane where like I'm just like screaming. And I saw Tiffany pulled away whenever it came on. She was like, I think we need to stop recording. And I was like, no. Like, we're just gonna get through it. So like it's like very funny because like it's like not in the audio, but like Tiffany, just the way she pulled away and she was like, I don't think we're in the right. Because I think there were like, but my two other honorable mentions were like a lot of like about destroying relationships.
I just
and
imagine
shit. Like
you
it's just
just
like
sounding like you. Yeah,
and I knew all the words, which she also did not realize that I knew all of the words because I was like, I came in, I was like, I want you to know that I'm happy for you. and then you get
she perverted like me.
Cause I love that you gave that we made wasn't able to make it enough for you to be. And when I got to that part, she was like, "Oh, you like know this song?" And I was like, "Oh, I've been prepping for a breakup emotionally to have that particular moment for a very long time, like as a teenager. And I was like, one day I'll need this. You know, like when you like latch onto, like I love breakup songs, but I had like up until this point, this was like my first serious enough relationship.
Relatable content.
Yeah.
I was feel the same way.
And then like once I needed it, I was like, I have this.
I used to think like, God, people are so dramatic, like in movies when they're crying over a breakup. Because I'd had breakups, and I'm like, exactly I never cried like that. Like, and then I had that breakup. I was like, here's the tears in my eyes. That's that song I'm just singing. But I remember being like, here we go.
It's like almost immediately like violins start playing and you're like, all by myself,
wish I could have said goodbye.
Just like all of the dramatic song.
Because The Star Is Born had just come out the year before, so like I was like, fuck. Here's the thing, I was ready because like the album that had just come out, and I even said this to my ex-boyfriend. I said, God, this would be such a good breakup album, but I'm happy. And it was Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. And so I was like, here we go. Let's dive in, baby. Like, it definitely worked.
I think
it was catharsis.
Now thinking back to that recording day, I think we recorded multiple episodes because in another episode I picked the top song was Alone by Heart, and I picked that week and it was all breakup songs in the top 10 and it finished with Alone by Heart. I can't do it now. Yeah, and so Tiffany was like, she was really like, this was not the time for us to be serious. So I was like, we have to.
I heard that you settled down.
When that started, I was like, okay.
On the board.
Not far from the truth, but.
God, she has some songs where I was like, ooh, that's a humdinger.
I'm also going to drop a bomb. I'm hanging out with my ex next week. So there we go.
Okay.
I know. I see the face.
Well, I trust you. I think you'll
I think I'm emotionally capable.
ask why. What do you feel like you would get out of the
I think that's the
interaction?
question.
Mm, that's the question.
That's
All
the
right.
question to be answered.
Here's the thing. I'm no one to if
This is what I get a lot. People are like, "That's a bad idea," but then they're also like, "But I get it, and I'm not the one to be able to tell you." Like, to
oh,
not
I mean,
do
if
something.
today my ex was like, I really want to like get lunch and talk, I'd be like, okay. Like I would be like,
yeah,
all right.
well, it's not. I'm not setting it up to be anything. I'm not setting it up to be anything.
No,
We're just like getting coffee.
that's good. No.
Yeah, but like we
And if it goes horribly, you'd be like, well, we'll never do that again.
right. That's it. That's kind of the thing.
And you'll know. And you'll know very quickly.
Yeah, but like we have been like texting more recently, but like also as part of when I cut him off from like communicating with me, I was like, I set up boundaries. He's taken steps to like I don't need those boundaries because he like met what I asked. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Sure, yeah.
And all I just to talk to him,
Mhm.
I was like, you need to go to therapy. He's in therapy. We like
Okay.
have talked about that.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I think because I don't. It's always been my vision that he'll be my friend at the end of all of this. Soon, like I have to take a
nice.
step to like hang out with him to see if that's if I'm capable, if he's capable. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I get that.
And then if I'm not capable of being friends with him, then that's that. And so that's what
And
it
you'll
is.
know.
I know I will
Do
know. But so like we used to hang out at my house a lot because pandemic, whatever.
No.
And I was like, but we're not hanging out at my house. I like pitched the idea and I was like, let's hang out soon. I was like, but we're not hanging out at my house. And I was like, I will also meet you wherever that place is.
Mm.
Because I was just like, that was like my boundary to be like,
Yeah.
I was like, I will meet you at the place. We'll hang out for
You were
a
not
set
picking
time.
me up.
Yeah. And then it's like, then I will come home.
You gonna make a lunch thing?
Just coffee. And you know what I think about coffee? It's a great place where you can cut off at any time.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Always take your coffee to go.
I've had lots of good dates on a coffee date. Because the good thing about a coffee date, you can keep the date going if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you have a fun
A
time,
date. Yeah.
I meant like to pivot back to dating.
Okay. To pivot back
yeah.
to dating.
You're like, I didn't say it.
I was just clarifying for anyone listening or watching that like that's not what my intention.
it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was just saying back to dating. Cool. Well, that's fun.
I'm sure it'll be a messy moment. I'm not counting on it.
Making
but
content.
I might have something to say after that.
It's like when relationship experts go on dates just to have stuff to write about in their columns. They're like, ugh.
Can you
Imagine. Oh, God.
I can't get a date to save my life. So
Girl, that's being. I get guys that'll want. I have the thing like guys will talk to me and they'll seem like they want to go on a date, and then like, they just like go away.
Mm.
I have had like 2 dates recently. But that's like very unlike me.
you had 2 dates last week.
Yeah, but it's like very
Yeah.
unlike me. It's like that's off brand. Like it was,
Mhm.
I remember being like, this is a lot for 1 week. Like it was like a little too much.
Especially during these trying times.
These trying times. And one of them I have not heard from since.
The first one and the second one. I don't know actually which order things happened. The
It
one
was
where
the
the person
second
said,
one.
"Oh, the one," because I thought that you guys were gonna get dinner or something.
Who we are, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't.
Well,
know.
you know what is like, when you're meeting new people, you don't know what their communicative style is
yeah.
yet. So sometimes it can feel like someone's ghosting you, but actually it's just that they're not an active texter.
Sure.
And he did tell me, just so you know, I suck at texting.
There you go.
So maybe it's just that. But then I also think like when I want to talk to somebody, I talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But not everyone also communicates the same way. So that's fine.
Sure. I will say so. Like my new friend David. I mean, this is like not in a dating capacity, but like my new friend David. When we first hung out, we like texted a lot at first, but also the first time we hung out, we both admitted to each other that we are like not good texting people. And like so like we don't really text that often. It'll be like every other week we will text and be like, "Do you want to hang out?" And then like we just like talk in person, and that's like how we handle our friendship. So it's like I actually kind of like it because you kind of get this like build up where then you see each other and then you have things to talk about.
That's true.
As opposed to like Tiffany, who like also almost knows my life in real time. Like when we see each other, I mean obviously we talk, but like it's also like we also shouldn't have anything to talk about whenever we see each other in real life.
Sam's kind of the same way. Where like she'll send me she'll send me Instagrams. I'm like, I've seen it. Like almost she actually jokes like maybe you haven't seen this, like, you know, but like usually I'm like, I've seen it. But also we would talk about everything, so I'll be telling a story. It's like, oh yeah, the thing, and I'm like, oh this crazy thing happened yesterday, and she's like, oh the guy with the thing. I'm like, oh,
it's interesting.
So it becomes different, but I also think there's another layer of like intimacy in friends, where like the kind of friends where you can just like be in the same room, like you're on your phones and shit, and just like, and not in like a anti-social both on our phones kind of way, but like you don't need to be talking every second, you know? I don't know, that could also be nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the best texter, but I also
Sam disassociates on our phones sometimes, so where I'll be like, Sam, yeah, and she'll go, huh? Like.
I love that. I mean, like,
she knows it too. So I'm not no shade.
It's interesting. I don't mind people being on their phone when they're like around me, but I also like I actually tried like not to be on my phone, and I really
do try.
It is interesting when you're like, I don't set that as a ground rule, and I don't tell people that. It's just like it's kind of what I try to do, and it's interesting when someone else calls you out for being on your phone, and you're like, I don't normally do this. Like, and I'm like, I clearly am answering something like, because
like
I think
lunch,
in my
when I was trying to figure out the like song app shit, I was like, I'm not like on my phone. I'm like,
you were having some issues.
I was worried. I had queued up Kim Petras' Hillside Boys twice. And I love that song, but like I don't need it twice in a row, mama.
I don't think anyone in that bar would have needed it twice in a row.
Yeah, I love that song.
It's a good song.
Love it.
But also our server appeared to be queer. So
absolutely.
I think we were
not absolutely, but like
that's why I said appeared. But like
yeah, I don't know anyone's life.
Yeah, I don't know.
But don't I?
Do we have any other messy moments?
Oh, well, I had like
Well, also we have a hotline that you can call if you do have a messy moment, where you could leave us a voicemail and tell us all about them. Zach has that phone number.
412-437-8558. That's 412-437-8558.
And we also have an email in case you don't want to speak, and it's messymondayshow@gmail.com. You can also send a voice memo that way if you don't want to like dial numbers for whatever. Yeah. So there are options. And we are not here. We're here to have fun and a good time. And like if you ask for advice, we'll give you advice. Or if you just want to tell us a funny story, we would love to hear it and then dissect it.
You can literally say, I have a messy moment, and don't say your name and just tell a story.
Yeah, I know. I think it's more or less getting people to do it. I don't think people are actually that ashamed of their lives. I mean, I guess I'm not. I admitted openly that I will be doing what I'm doing.
I've come to realize I talk too much. I'm not someone like, oh, I wish I could be more open with my feelings. I'm like, no, I talk a little too much. Like, maybe I used to be that way. That's changed. Like,
as a child, I was very shy.
You know what else I realized during my last breakup was like, wow, I really love talking about this breakup. Like when I think about how many people I told my story to, and I was like, wow. It's like afterwards, I was like, Zach, are you addicted to telling your breakup story? Like I feel like I was just telling the tale to everyone to see like, what's your reaction? And like read their face like, what do you think? What do you think? As if someone's gonna be like, I have the answer for you. Here's what happened.
It's interesting. The way we function differently, I just like learn more and more about how different we function as it is, because I was like, I'm not gonna tell anyone that we broke up, but also no one really knew that we were dating as it was.
Where I posted a lot.
Well, that's just like, but
like I didn't delete pictures of us off of my Instagram because I was like,
here's the thing about that. I actually hate when people do that, because like this is a significant part of your life. It clearly was enough to make it on the grid. It like obviously you don't want to like look at it, but just then don't.
I don't. I have to scroll back to find it. You know what I mean? Like
also like it was a part of your life, and I think that those there are like a lot of good parts that come with relationships. You can't lump it all.
And it wasn't
into,
a traumatic breakup. It wasn't like something happened.
right.
Like
That's what I'm saying. It's just like
he didn't cheat
if
on me or
they're
anything.
abusive
You know what I
or
mean?
like if there's like other reasons, obviously do whatever
It
you
was
want.
that cheating.
But like if you guys just like
motherfucker, you know,
weren't meant to be and like you,
Didn't
I
work
just
out.
like don't understand why people do that.
And yeah, like my thing is like, and obviously whatever, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But like the pictures I posted were of happy memories,
Mhm.
and now I feel like I am disassociated enough where now I can just be like, oh, that was a good day, you know, like
Yeah.
and it makes me a little wistful and sad. But I have photo albums that do that for me too, of just like family being like, what a simpler time or something, you know. It's like
Yeah. Like I
that's
mean,
just pictures sometimes,
like,
you know what I mean?
also like I have pictures like of me with friends who have passed away. Like
Same.
like why would I take that down from my thing? That's I mean like it's like a similar emotion that comes with it where you're just like, wow, look at us like together, and it's just like it's you know it hurts, but it's also like
Yeah. I have this actually, yeah, even on Instagram, I have a thread of me and my friend Leah who has passed away.
mhm.
And I was like, I would never delete that.
Yeah.
Like if it got deleted, I would be very sad. Because I'm like, that's all of our messages, that's all of
Mhm.
our giggles. Like I wouldn't do that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't delete stuff like that. And a lot of people are like, you really should delete this. I'm like, well, I'm not. And
I
I'll tell you.
I actually just suspended my Instagram for a week. I also didn't tell anyone I was doing that, and that caused some panic because I was doing like content that people were engaging with at the time. I was doing coffee creator. Like that happened like a couple days into me having that fucking coffee machine. And so then I like disabled my account for a short period of time. And so then I had people this person had my phone number for a very long time. Used it for the first time to be like, I got very worried when I didn't see you doing the coffee. Like, are you okay? And so then I had to like tell this person like, I like them, but I was like, this is like not a person that knew that I was in a relationship. Like, didn't know anything. So then I had to like tell her the whole story, and I was like, so this is why I had to suspend just suspend my account for a little while. But it was like very funny, like the ways people like would. And I also had other accounts, like one for beauty school. So like people were messaging my beauty school account, which I just went and deleted. Like I just went and deleted it, and I had. From that period, people messaging me about my coffee stuff, and they were like, "Where'd you go?"
You and the coffee.
Me and the coffee.
You know me and the coffee. I love those things.
I liked doing them. I just don't know what to.
No, I liked your old school content more.
What do you mean?
Oh no, there was something. The vibe, the feeling was different. I love all the coffee content, but there was a time where you were making. I think you were making more whipped things. You were using the hand whisker a lot.
The
Frother.
The limitations of the coffee content is once I know what I'm doing, it loses the
No,
allure.
yeah.
So like,
I think I first checked in when you had that like variety pack, and you were going through that because I love. Okay, first of all, I just also love TikTok videos of people trying things. I'll be like,
I never liked a one. I tried
You
30.
would be like, you would try and be like,
needs cream.
no. No.
I
Sometimes
also
you'd be like, well, but then no.
there's one flavor from that. There's only one flavor that I've got in that pack that I continue to buy.
I remember there was one where you were like, I can't even drink that. I think you like even poured it out. It was like,
It was probably the Colombian roast.
yes.
Because I also couldn't remember that Colombia was a country. But it was 5 a.m. I like people really came from my neck, and I was like, "Do you know where anything is at 5 a.m.? Are you awake?"
I think I did send you a reply.
People came from
Colombia.
Yeah, they were like, and then I went to work that day. This is when I still worked at Sephora, and people were like, "Oh, you know that Colombia is a country," and I was like, "Yes, I know." Because
That's rude.
I was like, I just like couldn't think of it because I kept thinking continent, and I was like, Colombia's not a continent. I was like, is it a country? And I was like, but I also kind of thought like New England, Colombia was like a general space of land because like New England is like a series of states. Do you know what I mean? Like,
As an expert in
biometrics,
biometry.
biometry.
I was like, what's the word? Because it's not. What is real? Yeah. No, I say the wrong word all the time. I would never make fun of someone because I'd be like,
And also, I'm like holding the coffee, trying it for the first time. I'm like, I'm so sorry to the people of Colombia.
Colombia?
The people of the
Columbine?
yeah, I was just like, is it a country? Is Colombia a country? Sorry to the people of Colombia. I was like,
Sorry to be real, also. You know what I mean?
yeah. Also, that's the kind, like, whenever I was doing the cooking videos, people really liked those too because I like didn't really know what I was doing. That's like, I think people really like when I'm confused.
Speaking of cooking and not knowing what they're doing, my favorite show right now is Cooking with Paris on Netflix.
I saw that you were watching that.
Like rewatching episodes.
Hot Kevin? Did you say Hot Kevin?
Oh, Hog Heaven.
Oh.
Hog Heaven. Might have said Hog Heaven. That's what I said. Anyway, it's been really fun because it's exactly what I wanted it to be. I was worried she was gonna try to do like, "Hi, we're gonna really cook something." And they were really cooking, but like, it's. Also, I love I can tell the producers don't intervene. They're like, whatever it is what it's gonna be, and I think it's oddly. I feel like I know how to cook, and I'm actually good at cooking. But for people that don't really know how to cook,
Me.
they probably feel very seen by it because it's just like watching someone be like,
That's, yeah.
like you know, like. I
So
think
Selena Gomez had a similar show, and I watched it. I was very entertained.
watch that.
You don't have to watch it. I'm just telling you,
Maybe
like,
that'd be fun.
it was, I'm sure it's like less supposed to be funny than Paris, but like she does catch shit on fire and burns shit. Like, do you know what so like, it's like, it was interesting to see someone who like didn't know how to cook being trained, like professional chefs was virtually training her how to cook. So they weren't even in the room with her. They were doing it all. Like,
See, this would be like Paris Hilton invites Kim Kardashian over to make French toast, and so it's sort of like, have you ever made a frittata before? No. Have you? No. But we're gonna wing it, and it'd be like, oh god. And just watching, like, the funniest thing of the entire thing was just like, and I'm not a Kim Kardashian person, but like Paris had tried to make these like dyed marshmallows. Like basically like large size version of like Lucky Charms marshmallows.
Okay.
To put on top of the French toast, which was like 2 minutes sweet. Well, and it didn't work because the way she did it like made no sense. And suddenly, just Kim just had to like turn away from the camera and just laugh. And she's just like crying laugh. She's like, the fact that you thought that these marshmallows were going to work is the funniest thing in the world.
I love whenever someone can't control themselves.
Oh, it's my favorite.
It is just the beauty of it because, you know, we've all been there.
Oh, one of my favorite things in the world is watching SNL bloopers when people break on SNL.
Oh, I love when
like,
people break on SNL.
The best.
Because it's hard to recover because like you just have the giggles.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that. Like sometimes it happens on Recollect too, where like one of us will do something, like say something, and will trigger something, and then for the rest of the episode, we are just like laughing about that particular thing, not even like what we are currently talking about.
No.
I love that, and that's how we have like that's how any catchphrase of ours has ever caught on. Not that one.
No, but I have been walking around like saying, because she's always like, this is like this is.
But does she have her like Paris voice for the show?
It's funny because sometimes she'll be like, today we're, whatever, doing the Paris voice. But when you can always tell when someone is like a really close friend that she has on the show, because she'll be like, yeah, I don't know what to do. I think
her
it's over
real
here.
voice is jarring.
Especially when there's the last episode, her mom and her sister come over, and first of all, it's hilarious because it's like no matter how
is
rich,
it Kathy Hilton? Oh my god.
And no matter how rich people are, it's like daughters will still pick on their mom. Like they're like, Mom, what are you doing? Oh my god, and it's just like, what? Like it's just like it's so. Or the mom comes, even though after watching that Paris Hilton documentary, I'm like, well, hello, Paris's mother. Nice to see you. Like I was like.
I mean, I don't know a lot about it, but I know that that's certainly.
I know that I wasn't like thrilled with her in that documentary.
All I know really is like what's been going. I don't watch The Real Housewives, but I catch wind, and so I know that Erica Girardi is like in a lot of legal trouble right now. But like all the girls were talking about Erica, but Erica wasn't in the room, and so like it's like we know her, and Kathy's like, I don't know her.
Hold on a second.
Kathy's she's on The Real Housewives. She's on the cast. She's not a friend of. She has the, I don't know what they hold.
How
But
long
like,
has she been on the cast?
I think this is her second season, or it's her first season.
Oh,
it's her first or
wow.
second season. And
Wow.
I listen to. I do
I didn't
listen
know
to a
that. I don't
Housewives
watch Real Housewives,
podcast,
Yeah.
but I don't watch the show.
Yeah, I don't watch.
So I
Real-
like
I've
know what's
never
going
really
on, and they've
watched.
been really enjoying Kathy. But Kathy did say something racist in the most recent episode, which is like, who's shocked? But like, I mean, that's like not okay either. But like, if you ask me if anyone on the Housewives is racist, I'm gonna be like, probs, probably.
It's like, I think lately certain people have been coming like, they're Republican. And I'm like, yeah. Like, what?
Yeah, like I guess I heard recently that Carrie Underwood said something anti-vax and people got mad. I was like, I was under the impression that was just, yes, of course, that's what Carrie Underwood.
That's why I've just never been a big fan of her. Cause I'm like, ugh, you reek of like girls from my hometown. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're talented, sis, but like, I don't need to.
I mean, I'll listen to her music occasionally.
No, she's good. Like,
Yeah.
but like, I'm not. Hilton, interesting.
But I just
Not
thought
that
it
I
was
would
so
watch
funny
this
that
for
she's
her.
been on this cast with these people, and they're like, we're all like, we know her, and like even I don't know how new some of the girls are, but like for them to pan to Kathy, just to be like, I do not know her.
I don't know her.
Probably like truest thing she probably said. And out of all of the women, she is probably telling the only person telling the truth. Where she was like, I do not know that woman.
Also, her on the Paris cooking show is so funny trying to hear her talk like a person. Like, I'm gonna sound relatable. Like, she'll be like, Paris, where did you get these vegetables? Like, the farmer's market. She's like, oh, they have such good stuff. like I don't know. I was like, she's like, oh, do you have caviar? And she's like, just like gorging herself on caviar. And Fred's like, yeah, remember when I first had caviar? And I was like,
I don't like caviar that much.
oh, yeah, not a big fan.
I mean, I get the. There's something really. I think our generation really has broken down that like we don't care about like rich people things that much. And I think that it drives like capitalism wild. Because they're like you don't want Gucci shit. I'm like, no, I could buy the same thing.
Oh, like the
You know what
dumbest.
I mean?
Oh, the dumbest thing. Granted, I'm sure it's mostly for jokes, but like so many times on the show, she'll make food that actually looks like pretty decently good, and then she'll be like, okay, now we need to like, and she'll like put these little like Chanel skewers into the food. Like now it's ready, and it's like, what, bitch? Or like, yeah, we made our steak. Now let's put some sparkle dust. But I'm enthralled.
You're yeah.
But I'm enthralled.
You're in.
I'm in, but I'm also like, ugh, boy. And I think certain friends of mine are like, why are you into Paris Hilton? I'm like, she's a drag queen to me. Like,
Yeah.
like it's a whole fantasy of like.
I think also she admits that it's like a persona.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
I remember when I heard her real voice for the first time, and it was on the Britney Spears documentary.
Oh,
I had like a
shit.
whole list of notes about that particular moment. Like Tiffany was talking, I was like, "Can we just talk about Paris Hilton's real voice for a second?" Because whenever
It's
she was being
wild.
interviewed, she was like talking, and I was like, "I'm sorry, is this what Paris Hilton actually sounds like?" I couldn't believe it. I was so shook to my core. I was like, "That's the first time I've heard her real voice." I'm 30, like like I've grown up with like Paris being a real person. Like I just
that's hot.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then to hear her go like, it's really sad what happened to Britney.
That's why I was like, really
and also
messed
like
up.
it makes way more sense for her to sound the way she does than the way she pretends to talk.
Because if you listen to her sister, it's pretty much her sister's voice,
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
I don't know anything about. I don't really follow either of them. So
That's fine. Like she just like she was over cooking and she just reeked of like Ivana Trump. Like, it's, like whenever I interview for people's things, they're like, "Wow, you do a lot," and I'm like, I don't think about how I do a lot, but yeah, I do. And so that's why I feel like things like the TikToks fall through the cracks because I'm so busy doing these other things that like something that should be like a very simple like let me make TikToks to promote. That's why I'm trying to like streamline my shit to be like I'm doing this because then I won't be overwhelmed. Because that's also just a problem with me in general is like doing too many things and then suddenly I'm like this is the hardest thing in the world and it's like not that hard. Give our thoughts on it.
okay.
This is from which one was this from? It was from Ask Gay Bros.
Okay.
I got. This is called. Can you guys stop with the quote? I'm straight, but ... Okay. I've seen it at least 5 times today. Quote, I'm 100% straight, but curious to suck a cock. Or quote, I'm straight in a relationship with a woman, but I really need to feel a cock inside me. Or third quote, I've never dated a guy, but the idea of cock. Honey, you're not straight. You never were and never will be. And the faster you understand that, the faster you'll accept yourself. I am fully gay, and I would never in a million years want to try a pussy. So if you are that straight, you wouldn't even think of trying a cock. Fuck, just say you're in the closet and need help. Messiness on Ask Gabriel.
Okay.
I don't like words with.
So I think that this person
I thought all the cock talk was funny.
It
Gets into
was
real
definitely
problems.
a thing to listen to. It was
Comments
jarring.
Comments are here.
Yes. So my as you're saying this, my brain goes like, "Ooh, this needs to be more nuanced than
No. I was like, it wasn't that an astute take. Like, no.
no, I know, but like, so I just am like, there are trans men who have pussies, and it's like it doesn't make them less of a man. So like in my head, I just am like, let's not
go there.
Dude, like that's exactly how I read that. I was like, this feels a little transphobic to me.
No, it's not great.
And then just like
I'm like, I got a light messy problem. It's actually a bigger.
I don't love when people say like I'm 100% straight, but it's just like we don't need all that. I agree that we don't need all of that. But like with my friend earlier, if you want to suck a Kong, go ahead. I don't gonna stop you. And then if you tell me that later, that's fine. Everything's fine. Everyone is
also
fine.
It doesn't mean
you,
anything.
and also if you
actually just goes back to your friend's thing.
Yeah, like if you suck a Kong and you are still straight, okay.
It doesn't mean you're.
And
also, I don't like this thing of like
it's like gatekeeping, like queer gatekeeping.
You're actually gay. You're gay. Like it's so weird. They're like, no, you want to suck a cock, so you're gay. It's like, no, like maybe not. Now, granted, I do think now I will. There are several sides to this.
So this. I usually pick something that was like very funny at first, and then like you take like a beat with it. You're like, there's a lot to unpack.
Can I be more transparent?
Sure.
I pulled this up at the last minute.
I know you did because I was in the room with you.
I got so excited. Okay, here's the thing. I've been like eating, not sleeping.
Yeah.
Partying, and so like I was like, oh right, messy Mondays. So I pulled this one thing. Oh, that looks funny, and I didn't read the whole thing. So full disclosure, it's a heavier topic. But I will say, I don't think guys or girls or whomever, everyone in the rainbow or not in the rainbow, anyone they want, don't feel the need to like qualify them like I'm 100% straight.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
No, you don't have to. If you think about cocks sometimes, maybe it means you have a curiosity. You should play with the cock sometime.
Yeah.
I do think if you're thinking about it, why not?
Right.
If you're in a situation where you can do that.
But
like,
also, like, why are you posting about it?
why you do that?
Like, I would.
Well, I guess maybe it's a safe space. I guess guys being like, I'm 100% straight.
Well,
a
queer space is not. That's not the space. You do that. I don't know where you would do that, but the queer space is not.
Don't
like,
come to Ask Gay Bros.
Like if you, I don't know, like go to like ask questions subreddit, and then you could say like, hey, I think like I identify as straight, but like I feel these urges. Like, has anyone else ever felt these urges? Then you won't feel alone, because definitely there's gonna be other people that feel like know exactly what you're talking about. 2, people are gonna give you better advice, because again, as like when someone comes at you with a problem that like isn't directly your problem, like I don't know how to approach that.
I would do it.
Yeah, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
okay, at least
okay, go suck a cock.
Like a cock. Like, oh my god. Like what?
Go fucking suck a cock.
Like a dick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, really. Like, you know. Like I know I've heard of like lesbians that like watching gay penetrative porn.
Yeah.
Like there's all sorts of whatever. Like I don't know.
Right. It's all. I think people just always forget that like we are on a broader spectrum, and
There's
we just
no rules.
Yeah, we also label ourselves out of the convenience of labeling ourselves. We don't need to have labels, and when you label yourself, that's when you start making problems for yourself.
I've been getting so fed up with labels lately that it keeps being like, I don't like. You know, we've talked about like, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm more non-binary than I even like thought I was, but I'm like, or maybe I'm just don't like. Oh, like if a guy, if I'm talking to a guy on Tinder or something, and they're like, hey, what's up, dude?
Mm-hmm.
I hate being called dude.
Oh, I hate being called bud.
Or
On
bud.
an equal.
or,
Dude
like,
makes me laugh a
man.
little bit, but I get it. It's like bro culture, so I'm not into bro.
What's
culture.
weird, like I'm really, and granted, I'm not judging the movie based on its title, but like there's that new like big like Billy Eichner rom-com that's like a gay rom-com. It's gonna come out I think like next year,
Okay.
and they they announced the title of it, and the title of it is Bros. I'm like, what? But maybe it's a bigger comment on like, ooh, like toxic male culture. I'm hoping that's what it is. But I'm like,
I think Billy Eichner doesn't take on projects that I trust Billy Eichner's decision making.
you do or you don't?
I do.
Yeah, I think so.
So I would hope, but
Especially
I don't
from
wanna speak
difficult
too
people.
soon.
I mean, granted, he was not like a head writer or anything. Like, I liked what they did with this character on that show.
But yeah, it was a cool project. Yeah, it's a very good show. So back to this post.
Yeah,
It's transphobic to just assume
yeah, back to
people's genitals.
Yeah.
And what that means. So I don't like that. 2, if you are straight and you are seeking same-sex play, that's fine. You can still be straight. You don't need to tell us that. You can do whatever you want. But you don't need to come in like, I'm 100% straight. Like, no one cares.
No one cares that you're gay, and no one cares that you're straight.
Yeah. Gay
I
people,
definitely
stop
don't care
telling
that you're
people
straight.
that people are gay.
Queer people don't care that you're straight.
People don't care that straight.
We're not like, wow, respect, mad respect, you're straight. Like,
No.
I don't care.
It doesn't. I don't know why you think that you need to preface everything like that. And then 3, queer people, you don't have the right to tell people who identify as straight what they are and are not.
Again, if you wouldn't want someone to comment on your sexuality and journey, don't do that for someone
No.
else. Just because they're straight doesn't mean you get to like talk to them any way you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that. I think I said like people like, oh, I'm allowed to talk to straight people any way I want to. I'm like, well, okay, but no, that's not actually a thing. Like, just because you've had gross people treat you a certain way doesn't mean you should like snap judgment all people that are straight. And thinking,
Right.
You know, I hate that.
Yeah. Although I do tell straight people that they're being homophobic a lot, even if they're not being homophobic.
Homophobic.
Anytime
I do call things homophobic a lot.
I know it makes straight people so uncomfortable, and it's just like it's very funny because you're just like, I really mean nothing by this, but you took it to a place, and when they react, when it's a big reaction, I'm like, oh, are you homophobic?
Oh, I was kidding. Oh, I was kidding. But
The
then-
act that just happened was not homophobic, but you seem to really be.
But then what you just did is homophobic. So are you homophobic? Oh my God, I didn't know I was friends with a homophobe.
It's very much the energy of Bob and Peppermint, where it's like, it's a race.
Race? That is one of my favorite videos.
Those two together just always
Love
take me to the
Peppermint.
next level. Zach, where can people find you on the internet?
And down some rabbit holes in some crazy place. I don't know.
in
Um.
between 2 airbags.
In my hot dog bun between the hours of 1 and 9 a.m. No. You can find me at Zacary with no H on Instagram and Twitter. And you can
The delirium has hit you.
all right, no, I'm good. You
Like,
can find
are
me,
you?
you can find me at Zacary with no H on Instagram and Twitter. You can also support my other podcast, In Another World, a pop culture podcast. And we're currently still doing Friday the 13th recaps every Friday. And in 2 weeks, we'll be talking about Freddy versus Jason,
A
the
franchise.
faggotry of it all.
Miss Kelly.
It's Kelly Rowland,
Miss Kelly.
faggot icon, Kelly Rowland.
With the red streaks. with the
Or
highlights.
if you've been searching for a podcast that talks about RuPaul's Drag Race, you can also subscribe to my show, Two Gays Watch Drag Race, that I host with Aaron Holman. And that's a fun time. How about you, Tom? Where can they find you?
You can find me right here on YouTube, youtube.com/HopeMessTom, HAUTEMESSTOM. Also, in your podcasting world, It Bears Repeating and Recollect, which is a Patreon-only podcast where we talk about music from the past.
On this journey to the best.
I'm going to leave. This is my house, but I'm leaving.
Okay.
Thank you all for listening.
Please follow us at
Oh,
Messy Mondays Pod. Do it.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Even on TikTok.
Everywhere.
Bye.
Bye.
Your cure for the weekend. Messy Mondays with Tom and Zach.